We have Denise Holt coming up.
Forward. Okay, thank you. Hi, everyone. So today I have a lot of information I'm going to be sharing with you. So I'm going to move through it fairly quickly. But I have been doing a lot of education in this space over the last year and a half or so. And I have areas you can go to learn more afterwards, and you'll see that at the end. But what I'm going to be talking to you about today is the spatial web and an entirely new kind of AI called Active Inference AI, and how this is going to redefine media. So there's a new wave of innovation coming, and it is AI-powered apps that will be distributed across our internet. And this is the next wave of innovation. Our internet is evolving. There's a new protocol that's going to exponentially expand the network into spatial domains. And there's a company that's leading this, and it's Versus AI. If you have not heard of them, you should check them out. I do not work for Versus, but I have been highly aware of what they've been doing over the last 6 years. And I'm actually forming my own business around this technology. The Spatial Web protocol itself is Hyperspace Transaction Protocol, and the programming language is Hyperspace Modeling Language. The global core standards have been in development for the last 4 years. They've been finalized, and they're in the formality stage of being confirmed. And the Spatial Web Foundation is the organization that has been leading the development of the standards. So the difference between these apps is these apps are aware of each other and the network. They sense the world in real time. They learn from each other. And so what we're going to experience is unprecedented levels of interoperability and basically Metcalfe's law on steroids. That's we're going to have, yes, which will lead to unprecedented levels of scaling and growth potential. So, we're all familiar with the mobile revolution, and the big winners from that era were on the application layer, and this is bigger. So what are we talking about here? So this is the Gartner hype cycle. This came out about this time last year. And you can see generative AI was already peaking. But if you look down where those two red arrows are showing, we're talking about multi-agent systems and first principles AI. And this is what's coming with this next era. Now, what is first principles AI? It is natural AI. It is AI that actually thinks and operates the same way that biological systems learn. It's biologically inspired. These are embodied AI. They have a sense of self and a sense of themselves in the world, and they are self-organizing. So the future of AI is shared, distributed, and multi-scale. And it involves an entirely new kind of artificial intelligence called active inference, and it's able to overcome the limitations of machine learning and deep learning. Now, it's not going to replace deep learning, but it will become very apparent that deep learning are tools, whereas active inference, you can look at it as the operator. It can actually handle mission-critical operations like hospitals and airports and things where you need accuracy. It's AI that's knowable, explainable, and capable of human governance. It operates in a naturally efficient way with no big data requirement. Any amount of data can be made smart, and it's based on the same mechanics as biological intelligence. And if it sounds too good to be true, just know that it's actually happening right now. What is the spatial web? The spatial web is simply this next era of this next evolution of our internet protocol, the same internet we're all using right now, but it's about to expand exponentially. We're moving from websites and web pages into spatial domains, where everything in every space and all nested spaces become domains, and they become programmable. And the protocol is a hyperspace transaction protocol, and the programming language is hyperspace modeling language. And the IEEE is the largest core standards body in the world. They develop all the core standards for any global technology like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and things like that. 4 years ago, they deemed the Spatial Web Protocol a public imperative, which is their highest designation. And like I said, this is all gone through the final voting stage, and it's gone to balloting with the IEEE, which is just a formality, and it is about to be accepted globally, worldwide. So, what does this do for us with our internet? This becomes the internet of everything. If you look at what a website domain is, domains are the address, and the location is the website made of web pages. And those pages can serve up content, and that content can be accessed by devices. But we're talking about content. And if you look at everything that's been talked about here at this event, all of these AI tools that are deep learning tools, they're content generators. They're all dealing with content, and they're powerful tools, and they're amazing tools, and I use them all the time, every day. But what we're about to see is spatial web domains where everything becomes, every entity within space becomes programmable and potentially a digital twin. And this is everything in every space, a persistent identity that can be tracked with the changes over time and programmed with permissions and credentials and all of the context and attributes about the interrelationships between the things. And what this is going to provide is a grounding for AI. It becomes the world model that is needed to give an AI an understanding of reality. So this understanding of a reality then enables an entirely new kind of AI. Current state of AI with deep learning, these are all siloed applications, and they're built for optimizing specific outcomes. They're really unable to communicate with each other. They can't pass information from one intelligent agent to the other. Whereas with the spatial web, you're going to have a self-evolving system that's learning from moment to moment with real-time data, data that is ever changing and ever evolving, and it's going to be upgrading its world model, its understanding of reality over time, in the moment. So the difference is ChatGPT can tell you a great story about New York, but an active inference agent can tell you what's happening right now in New York, wherever you're asking. And how does it do this? Well, active inference, it operates in the same way that human learning does. How do we learn? We take in sensory data, and we're constantly measuring that data against our own internal model, which is our understanding of reality. And that is a constant feedback loop that takes place in our lives from the time we're born as we're growing through our lives. And that is how these intelligent agents will learn, and they'll all be learning from their own frame of reference within the network. We're talking about distributed intelligence across the network, and these agents are able to learn about their environments, but also learn from each other. And what this does is this distributes the processing requirements and the power that's being used. And instead of a big giant database with a monolithic system, superpowered GPUs, now the processing is being distributed to the edge, to edge devices, your computer, your phone, IoT sensors, robotics. And so all of the power requirements are now distributed across the same network, our internet. It uses real live data. These agents are sensing the world by taking in sensory data from IoT, from cameras, from robotics. It eliminates the need to be tethered to a giant database because it can take any amount of data and make it smart. It is learning and adapting from its own frame of reference within the network. And this entire process minimizes complexity. It's using the right data at the right moment for the task at hand. HSML becomes a common language for everything. So it provides unprecedented levels of interoperability between all current, emerging, and legacy technologies. So not only is HSML a language that we can convey human laws and guidelines that AI will understand and abide by, but it also provides a common language, a lingua franca, for all these emerging technologies, whether it's Web3, IoT, blockchain, distributed ledger. Um, all of these technologies are now going to be able to become interoperable across our internet as well. So we're about to see all of this emerging tech just come to life over the internet. And it's going to lay a foundation for a real-time world model for all autonomous systems. And they're built-in guardrails in HSTP. It creates a secure, ethical, and user-centric environment. It enables data privacy, sovereignty, transparency, explainability, security and authentication, interoperability and standardization, user empowerment and control, and safety and reliability. What we're talking about are programmable spaces. Anything inside of any space is uniquely identifiable and programmable within a digital twin of Earth, providing a model for data normalization. This enables adaptive intelligence automation, security through geo-encoded governance, and multi-network interoperability. And it enables all smart technologies to function together in a unified system. We then have knowledge graphs and digital twins of everything. Uh, this entire ecosystem will be nested ecosystems. When you think of smart cities and all of the infrastructure and it needing to be able to work together, um, you have intelligent agents as both humans and synthetic agents. They're sensing and perceiving this continuously evolving world around them, making sense of the changes, updating their internal model and what they know to be true, and acting on the information that they receive. And this is what provides the accurate world models for these agents. So active inference is not a language model that's generating words about the world based on outdated knowledge that it's been fed regarding the world. Active inference is like a biological organism that perceives and acts on our world by generating more accurate models, understandings, and beliefs about our world. HSML computes context. And this is the internet, so everyone and everything will be there. Why? Because it's AI-empowered discovery and experiences. All these emerging technologies are coming to life there. We're talking a lot about things here like filmmaking and, books and stories and media. All of this is gonna come to life in a way that you can't it doesn't happen in a 2D internet. It doesn't happen through websites and web pages. Um, this is where mixed reality comes to life, this augmented reality existence that we've all envisioned, but the foundation just hasn't been there. This is the foundation for it. So what is this gonna do for media? It's gonna enable customization and adaptation in the moment. So um, think about interactive storytelling. These stories will be able to adapt in real time based on the viewer itself, the viewer's emotions, the viewer's responses. And it's going to interact and adapt with you in a 3D way. You know, um, this is metaverse brought to life, but multiple metaverses, any metaverse you want. VR and AR are going to come to life in our everyday experiences. Smart environments, the way we approach education is completely going to change. Students will be able to have a globe in front of them that they can zero in wherever they want and experience whatever they want to learn about it. This is just going to completely change the way we actually exist as humans. So if you want a much deeper dive, I visit my website. You can scan that; it'll take you to my website. On my website, you're going to find a lot. I've done a lot of writing over the last year and a half. I have a podcast called the Spatial Web AI podcast, and every month, in January, I started a Substack, and every month I've been hosting a Learning Lab Live. And in the Learning Lab, I dive real deep into some aspect of this technology to really, give a real grounded, deep understanding of it. And it's about a 40-minute presentation. And then afterwards, everybody that's on the call on the Zoom, it's open for discussion. And I carry on that discussion for like an hour, hour and a half, so that all of the community can meet each other and really understand where they're coming from and just start to learn and get excited and find that synergy together. Because to me, community is everything in these evolving and emerging technologies. So I really invite you to come and join us. If you're wondering if you belong, it's a diverse group. It's everything from PhD researchers to tech developers to educators to business advisors to investors. So please join, and thank you so much. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Denise. Let's see if we have a couple moment for a couple questions. Let's check the clock though, because I know we're running on tight on time. Let's do 2 quick questions. Okay,
I
start
wrote
with
2
Robert.
books on spatial computing, so I'm going to pull rank. This new world that's coming is going to split this world up into little tiny voxels, volumetric pixels all around us. That makes a lot of sense when we get augmented reality glasses or spatial computing devices on our face. What about humanoid robots? Does it use the same system to navigate the world as we might see SpongeBob on the floor?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, there's a lot of active inference research happening in the world of robotics. And so just to give you an example of what an active inference robot can do versus one that is trained on deep learning. So if you've got a factory where the robots are having to sew a zipper inside a very soft material, right? It needs to be able to adapt to the folding of that material, which is happening in real time, right? So these robots can do that. They adapt with the environment and what's happening. And I'm sure you've seen the robots that are, there's YouTube videos of robotics companies where they're showing the robot that can do your dishes or even fry something in a pan. But the problem is if you change one aspect of that environment, they can't adapt. They don't understand what's happening. They can be trained in motion, right? But they don't understand how to adapt to surprise. And that is really active inference based on the free energy principle. So active inference is a methodology from Dr. Carl Friston, and it's long been thought to be ideal for AI, but it has also been thought to be way too complex and near impossible. But that's where the Spatial Web Protocol comes in. It provides the grounding, it provides the reality, the knowledge of reality for these AI to be able to actually implement the free energy principle and have that action perception feedback loop. So any other questions?
One more question, and then we're going to move on. And then Denise will be back on a panel in about 15 minutes, so we can hold some more questions for that and for networking after.
Thank you for your presentation. Very energetic.
Thank you,
I have
Vince.
very simple 2 questions. What's your current moonshot at the moment? And what kind of legacy would you like to leave for the decades to come with your initiative?
Oh, for me personally? Okay, so I have AIX Global Media, and I've developed that as kind of a next generation tech accelerator. So there's 3 different angles to it. The media channels to provide publicity for these startups. I have a capital raising arm as well, and then what I've been doing for the last year and a half is a lot of education. So I have curriculum, I have a lot of education for this space, and there'll be an education publishing side of it as well. But the real positioning of that is to be a unicorn spotter off of this next era of technology, because we are about to see an explosion of innovation like we've never seen before. Just the fact that our internet is about to exponentially expand in the number of nodes within the network. The network itself is expanding. And if you look at what happened with mobile, you know, anytime you have extra data points and extra points of insight, then it expands the number, the capabilities that you can do within that space. And I always like to look at like what when Google Maps, when they first built their maps, they didn't realize they were going to be able to monitor traffic, right? Until, oh, we have that extra point of data, and then that became extra functionality within their app. And if you think of what's happening with these intelligent agent apps, these active inference agents as apps, the next software across the internet, these agents are aware of each other and the network. So any app in the App Store is a siloed application, just like any piece of software. These are going to be aware of each other and the network. We're facing unlimited insights. And logically, you know, I can think, oh, that's going to lead here, but really we don't know. I mean, this is going to be a whole new level of innovation. So I'm excited about it. And, you know, I have been, everything I've been doing has been to capture this moment, because this is a once in a lifetime moment we're about to embark on. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Denise. Sorry.